Hello everyone, you're watching CVR News English School Scan with me, Vasvi Kaleru. Well, the schools are set to reopen from January 18, where all the states are gearing up to provide the actual education to the students after a great gap of 8 to 9 months for the students away from the schools. And the announcement is also made applicable to all the government and private schools, and the decision comes after the week of anticipation of Covid-19 second wave in Telangana. Meanwhile, the schools for class 9 and 10 along with the junior and graduation colleges in the state are likely to be opened after Sankranti. Earlier, the government decided to run classes for 120 days in schools from December first week. Well, however, the government did not materialize it. Well, later the Education Department proposed to hold classwork for class 9 and above from January first week after Sankranti. Well, the proposal is also resumed of schools for class 9 and above, which has already sent to the government, and the decision on this is yet to be taken. Well, this is the final part of a 3-part series on the school reopenings in India amid the coronavirus outbreak, and where the first part looked at why parents are concerned about sending their children back to physical classes, and the second part looked at how teachers are having to bear the additional strain of taking multiple classes online and offline with no overtime pay. Dhanbad Balbhavan Vidya Mandir has 190 students studying from class 9 to 10. However, school chairman Manoj Sinha says that close to 40% of the students have only paid half of the average 75,000 annual fees, where he also claims this is delaying salary payment even as a school reopening issue this time. And this is also because of as the schools slowly reopen across increasing India, and there are also rising cross concerns among the school authorities who allege that the parents are seeking hotel-like facilities but not willing to pay for them. Well, 50-year-old Sudarshan Singh, who runs two schools in Karnal district in Haryana, also told that the average school expenses have increased by 30% due to the standard operating procedures issued by the Education Ministry. We can observe that we have to bear cost of everything, be it mask, hand sanitizers, temperature scanners, schools, and also being asked to hire additional administrative staff to manage social distancing within the premises, and costs are piling up. Well, this has contributed so much for the reopening of schools in India, whereas the parents across India is also still in a speculation whether to send their children to schools, whether if it is safe. And let's join with a caller, Vishal Kumar. He is here to give his opinion out on reopening of schools in India. Hello Vishal.
Hello ma'am.
So Vishal, what do you think? The schools are getting up in India to get reopened from January 18. So what do you think on the same?
యాక్చువల్ గా మేడం ఇప్పుడు స్కూల్స్ ఇప్పుడైతే ఓపెన్ చేయడం అయితే సేఫ్ కాదు. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు వేరే ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్ ఏదైనా కావచ్చు, కాలేజెస్ కావచ్చు, ఏదైనా కావచ్చు, దాంట్లో అయితే కొంచెం వాళ్ళ మెచ్యూరిటీ ఉంటుంది, వాళ్ళకు కోవిడ్ అంటే ఏందో తెలుసు, వాళ్ళకు హ్యాండ్ శానిటైజర్ చేయాలి, అంటే దీన్ని ముట్టుకోవడం అవన్నీ వాళ్ళకి ఐడియా ఉంది. కానీ ఈ చిన్న పిల్లలకు పాపం వాళ్ళకి ఏం ఐడియా ఉంటది? వాళ్ళు ఆడుతుంటారు, పాడుతుంటారు, తింటుంటారు, తిరుగుతుంటారు. వాళ్ళకు కోవిడ్ గురించి అంతా, అంటే కోవిడ్ అంటే ఏదో తెలిసి ఉంటది. ఎందుకంటే ఇన్ని మంత్స్ వాళ్ళు వింటున్నారంటే కరోనా అనే ఒక అదైతే థింగ్ తెలుసు. కానీ దానికి ఎట్లా సేవ్ చేయాలా, వాళ్ళని ఎట్లా ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలన్న థింగ్స్ ఇప్పటివరకు కూడా అంటే పిల్లలకు తెలిసి ఉండదు. వాళ్ళు తెలియకుండా బై మిస్టేక్ ఎవరైనా కోవిడ్ పేషెంట్ ఎవరైనా టచ్ చేసి ఒక్కరు స్కూల్కి వస్తే మొత్తం స్కూల్ అంతా స్ప్రెడ్ అవుతుంది. చిన్న పిల్లలకు తెలియకుండా వాళ్ళు ముట్టుకుంటారు కదా మేడం. ఏది చేసినా టీచర్స్ అయితే ఏం చేయగలుగుతారు? రాగానే శానిటైజ్ చేయగలుగుతారు అంతవరకే, లేకపోతే టెంపరేచర్ చెక్ చేస్తారు అంతవరకే. కొన్ని థింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఎట్లా అంటే కోవిడ్ ఉన్నా కూడా మీకు టెంపరేచర్ లా కనిపించదు మేడం, కొన్ని అట్లాంటి థింగ్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. సో అట్లాంటి థింగ్స్ ని ఎట్లా వీళ్ళు స్కూల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఐడెంటిఫై చేయగలుగుతారు ఎవరికి కోవిడ్ ఉంది లేదు అని? ఇంకోటి, కోవిడ్ ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి బాడీలో రాగానే తెలియదు, కొంచెం టైం పడుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఈ రోజు ఒక పర్సన్ కి కోవిడ్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, ఆయనకు ఒక డైరెక్ట్ రాగానే ఆయనకు కనిపించదు కదా సిమ్టమ్స్, కొంచెం టైం పడుతుంది. ఆ టైం పడే లోపు ఆయన అगर ఒక స్కూల్ స్టూడెంట్ అయి ఉంటే ఎంత మందికి స్ప్రెడ్ అవుతుంది, దాని రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ ఎవరు తీసుకుంటారు?
So, but Vishal, it's already been 8 to 9 months that students are away from their schooling. So
9 months away ఉన్నారు, ఇంకా 3 months 4 months ఇంకా ఆపి, అంటే వ్యాక్సినేషన్ అందరికి కంప్లీట్ అయ్యే వరకు ఆపి పెడితే పోయేదేం లేదు కదా. 9 months ఆల్రెడీ ఆపిన వాళ్ళు ఇంకా 3 months ఆపితే మొత్తం ఇయరే కంప్లీట్ అవుతుంది.
Well, India has 2 million schools, of which 6% are estimated to be government schools and the rest are private schools and unaided institutions. There are two camps in the pictures where schools and parents allege that schools save a lot on costs during the 9 months lockdown between March, November and hence should use the savings to pay for infection control measures. While schools, on the other hand, are of few what they are charitable institutions to pay additional expenses without working at the commercial aspect. Salaries where 55% of stationery expenses, 10% of electricity and 20% of school maintenance including building and playgrounds is also an additional burden to the school management, says the schools, where in 2020 it was only the electricity expenses and stationery costs that got saved by the schools, where since classes are still being conducted online, staff salaries are being paid as usual and maintenance activity and of school premises are still continue to be as usual, says another school's principal from Hyderabad. Well, Kolkata-based school principal Abhijit Dwivedi told that there is a misconception that schools are sitting on excess cash and hence can afford infection control. Well, to tell, if I had to buy 3 thermal scanners and also hire 5 to 7 temporary staff for school distancing, sanitation at a basic salary of at least around basic 8,000 to 10,000 each, which doesn't the monthly cost goes up substantially, questions the principals and the managements. And they are also seeks how to generate the teachers working in the schools, and the schools is also run by a trust. West Bengal is among the handful of states that hasn't yet taken a decision on reopening of schools amid the threat of 3 lakh rupees, which would be helpful for all the students and the school working staff and the management of schools and complete school education sector. And such request to the government is also being posed and also tried many educational officers to instill these schemes for all the school management with the acceptance of government, but it is not happening still, and the decision is yet to be taken on the cards. Well, parents are upset that schools are taking about high fee and insisting their school actually be making refund, given that there have been no physical classes for much of the year and consequently reduction in the cost which the schools incur. Where Hyderabad based father of a student at an international school says that there should be at least 50% fee refund since no physical classes are being held. Well, he says 2.6 lakh for his son's education this year he had paid, and I quote in his words that it is almost 9 months since the school shut. We did get some token refund for the school bus, but that isn't enough. Some parents have their own struggles to deal with. These are taking a toll in their children's education. Well, Padvi Gupta from Indore tell that parents like him who have had to take a 20 to 30% pay cut are not in a position to pay high school fee, where his son's name was suddenly removed from online classes in June after he paid the fee a month late. And a lot of meetings, and the class 7 student was taken back in August. And this is so ridiculous attitude of the school management for school fees, even though they are not providing a facility of traditional classrooms, says the parents.
Speak about the corona pandemic that has become a big problem all over the world. In these testing times, schools have got a very problematic time. So these are some of the guidelines we would like to give you. So first of all, please remember the point, safety is always better than getting affected. Prevention is always better than the cure. So take care of your health. Once the schools start, you have to be extra careful while sending your ward to the school. First of all, make sure that your ward is perfectly all right. After that, once the school timings come, see that you accompany your ward. And we are extra careful. Management has decided to erect thermal scanners over all the gates. There will be thermal scanners only if the child shows the perfect temperature he will be in. Soon after that, he'll be given sanitizer to wash his hands. So we also, according to the government rules, we'll give special timetable to the students so that all students do not come together at a time. We will allow him through different gates. So once they are into the campus, we make sure that class teachers are there in their respective rooms, and even we maintain distance, perhaps 2 to 3 meters from one bench to another bench. And we make sure that there will be not more than one student sitting in the bench. And we see that proper distance is maintained from the student to student, maybe in the manner of zigzag, or if she is made to sit straight, we see that proper distance is maintained. So then after that, during the breaks, we make sure that all the students do not go at a time, and we have different restrooms, more than 3. So we send section by section students. So we'll change a timetable likewise, not everybody following the same timetable, so that nobody will come in contact with each other. Always remember, there are 2 things that you have to come along with. One is the mask. The other one, if possible, try to bring your own sanitizer. So during the breaks, we will see that after the entrance, there are teachers. After that, there will be ayahs. We plan to erect an open tap system so that students need not touch the taps automatically. Okay, once they are completed, it will be shut. The water flow will be shut. We maintain that students maintain physical distance. It's a completely different phenomena coming to the present, because previously schools were completely different. Now there has to be certain change in the schools, and we are very sure and we are very ready to go with the norms that are given by the government. And after that, teachers will be given a training session how to deal with the students. And even we plan maybe online classes or direct classes to the parents based on the availability on how they should bring their children and how they have to face this pandemic and stay safe and fit. So once they come back, we maximum prevent the exchange of books. We ask the students as well as the teachers not to exchange the books with each other. So once the students leave the class, we make sure once or twice the rooms are sanitized again. And we make sure that if the student doesn't feel well, we inform the parents before the entrance, or even if he suffers after the entry into the school, to take them back, because always prevention is better. So if student doesn't feel well, it's better to be staying at home than coming to the school. Then while students are left, it's made sure that they will not be left at a time. And we have got, as I told you, 4 or 5 gates. So we make sure that entry is smooth and exit also is smooth. So they go one by one. So we got enough workforce to go on with our works. And parents are requested to stay alert. Do not send your children outside until it's a dire need, because times are not very good. It can attack us in any way. And even if you are prone to that pandemic, do not be worried, because the death rate is very less. Once you're affected by it, it's not a big worry, because in India, the survival rate is above most of the countries. So we wish a wonderful time to the students, and we promise you the best time here in Vijaya High School. Hope everybody is doing well. Today,
well, amid the COVID-19 pandemic and online classes, a slew of petitions have been filed in courts in Delhi, Gujarat and West Bengal on the issue of private school demanding fees during the lockdown. Well, all these petitions seek a reduction in school fees since classes are being held online, and where schools is also restricted to removing student name from online classes if the school's fees were not paid. And with physical classes resuming, it is expected that this trend will continue in schools too. other side, there has been a slew of judgments by various high courts advising schools to refrain from abruptly hiking fees in the middle of the year and to wait till the next academic year. Well, schools, however, are not convinced, but 48-year-old Shravan Mishra, managing trustee at Sarla Prabha Memorial School in Uttar Pradesh, says that there is a likelihood of schools shutting down permanently if parents do not cooperate. And this comes as a new trend across the country, where courts can give advisories, but it is us to have to run the schools. But if we keep incurring costs and are unable to pass it on it, the form of fees high where we cannot be in this industry anymore. And this will only be detrimental to school children, where Mishra says that the school has recently spent around 3 lakh in getting thermal scanner, mask, hand and sanitizer and a cleaning robot, and clarified that this in the hope that parents will be ready to pay 500 fee monthly hike from March 2021 onwards.
Keeping in view about the children that they may get addicted to mobile gadgets, so we may conduct after the reopen of the school to the children who are unable to come to school. After reopen, we take special classes and we shall complete the syllabus. We are ready to conduct online classes, but keeping in view about the children that they may get addicted to mobile gadgets, so we may conduct after the reopen of the school to the children who are unable to come to school. After reopen, we take special classes and we shall complete the syllabus. We are ready to conduct online classes, but keeping in view about the children that they may get addicted to mobile gadgets, so we may conduct after the reopen of the school to the children who are unable to come to school. After reopen, we take special classes and we shall complete the
Well, this is with me, Vasu Kaliru, in our today's school scan. Thank you for joining us. Have a good day.